What's your best truth or dare gone wrong moment? Story 1. Truth or dare at a friend's house after graduating high school. Everyone was drinking, and truth or dare popped up. One of the lads was particularly mad enough to pretty much do whatever we suggested, even when sober. The bottle lands on him, and someone says, "Dare you to skinny dip in the pool." Within a flash, he's out of his clothes and running towards the pool. He jumps and overshoots it by so freaking much that he goes stomach first into the diving board. Maybe he was holding in the burgers we ate, maybe the alcohol had loosened his a-hole too much, or maybe it was just an unfortunate accident, but he sprayed out all of his poop when he hit it. He then fell into the pool in the area of his diarrhea. Friend who owns the pool yells, "What the f***?" and runs over. He picks up the pool cleaner net and starts trying to fish his poop out, but it's pure liquid. So he starts crying and watches the pool in disbelief. Crazy friend gets out of the pool. His entire body was covered in his poop and starts walking towards us like that hallway scene from Paranormal Activity, shouting, "Give me a hug!" We all ran inside and locked the door until he took a shower and left. The pool was ruined for good, and an entire cleaning pool crew had to come the next day to clean it. Story 2. One of the few guys I was invited to a girl's birthday party with only 2 other guys and maybe 7 girls. The girls all decided to play Truth or Dare and Spin the Bottle mashup. It also began to dawn on me that the birthday girl had a crush on me, and this was all a setup. I had no idea how to kiss, and I pulled one of the guys that I was friends with aside and asked him to help me get out of this. He told me he'd help me out, but I'd owe him big time. We went back in and sat down. After several truths and small dares from the other girls, the birthday girl spun the bottle and it landed on me. She dared me to kiss her for 5 seconds. As we began to lean in, a horrid smell hit all our nostrils. My friend set off a stink bomb in the trash can and forced us all to leave the room. We all laughed it off, and I decided it was late enough to leave. The girl had to throw out the trash can, but I got out of having my first kiss with a cute girl that had a crush on me. Looks like your friend really came through for you in the clutch. Who knew that stink bombs could be such a lifesaver? And hey, who needs a first kiss with a cute girl when you can have a hilarious story to tell instead? Maybe next time suggest a game of Monopoly instead. Less chance of getting caught up in any romantic shenanigans, and way more chance of ending up in a knockdown, drag-out argument over who gets to be the top hat. Story 3. One of my old college roommates, let's call him A, had a huge crush on a girl who lived down the hall from us in college. One night she asks him if he would like to join their game of Truth or Dare, and tells him to invite his friend M because her roommate has a crush on M. So he agrees, and says he just needs to change and then he'll grab M and head over. Once she leaves, he starts freaking out. He's head over heels at the opportunity to maybe kiss her. He runs around our dorm room telling all of us how excited he is. Now, A has always been a super weird guy, just socially awkward to the max, so all of us are excited for him, trying to get him to play it cool. He was shaking like a chihuahua because he was so excited. Anyway, he changes, literally gives himself a pep talk in the mirror, and heads out to meet his destiny. The next morning, we all discover A hasn't come back from her dorm yet, so naturally we're all sitting around feeling proud of him. About an hour later, he strolls in grinning from ear to ear and wearing her clothes. He walks up to us and goes, "Guys, I kissed her." And we all high-five and congratulate him. So we ask for the details, and he says it was a little fuzzy because they all got really drunk. Now, this in itself was amazing because A does not drink, like at all. So we all give him a second round of attaboys for finally getting drunk. So he says the following sentence super casually, like it's not a big deal. Yeah, so she dared me to make out with M for like 5 minutes, and then she'd kiss me. So obviously M and I made out, and then she gave me a peck on the cheek. So obviously we're all hysterically laughing at this point and just yelling about his totally not equivalent exchange, and he gets defensive and says it doesn't matter because he really likes her and is going to ask her out. So he goes to his bedroom to take a nap. As we all laugh about his night in the common room, we hear a knock at the door. It was the girl from down the hall. She proceeds to tell us the real story of the night, which was that she really did dare him to make out with M for 5 minutes in exchange for a kiss, and they really did make out. She did kiss him on the cheek, and he promptly got so excited he stood up from the floor they were all sitting on and tried to take a victory lap. Unfortunately, he was much more drunk than he thought, and standing up so fast made him dizzy and nauseous. So he tried to run out of her dorm and back to our dorm so she wouldn't see him throw up. Unfortunately, our dorm room door was locked and he couldn't remember the code to get in. So he stood in the hallway, absolutely hammered, and turned his shirt into a little bucket by holding up the end and puked into it. Then he carried his puke shirt back into her apartment and promptly dropped his shirt holding his curdled load onto her floor. She made him change and sent him back the next day in her clothes, while she spent the whole night cleaning his mess. He was so drunk he doesn't remember, while she wants absolutely nothing to do with him. We all felt bad, but definitely laughed so hard we cried. Story 4. Back in college, we were pre-gaming at my friend's apartment playing Truth or Dare Jenga. I pulled a brick that said to do a lap around the outside of the building without any clothes on. Easy enough, but it was the middle of winter, so I slipped and fell on some ice and ended up breaking my ankle. I am never going to play stupid Truth or Dare ever again. Ouch, that sounds like quite the painful experience. You know what they say, no pain, no gain. But in this case, it seems like the gain wasn't really worth it. Lesson learned. Maybe next time stick to less risky games like Go Fish or Uno. Story 5. It was back in university and we were all really drunk. Friend dared his girlfriend to kiss with another girl for 5 seconds, and she did. She said it was awesome and that she liked it. They flirt, talk a lot during drinking, and when end of night came, they go home, back to her dorm room together. My friend, the boyfriend, wasn't invited. Weeks later, girlfriend actually leaves him to be with the other girl. Story 6. We were playing Truth or Dare in college at a friend's apartment at a party. In the Truth or Dare room, it was made clear that no one is in a relationship in here. The one couple was cool with it, although they were in a relationship. I was dared to kiss the guy's girlfriend. It was a really good kiss. The best first kiss I ever had with a person. Usually the first kiss is alright, and you work on it with the other person to make it better, but our lips and techniques matched up perfectly the first time, and the kiss went on way longer than it should have for a game. Anyways, she dumped him like a week later because she said that kiss made her realize she wanted to be with other people. I wonder what he meant by that part where he said, the best first kiss I ever had with a person. With what did he kiss before, if not with a person? Story 7. We were playing a card game which involved a Never Have I Ever minigame, which is basically a modified truth portion of traditional Truth or Dare. Well, one girl in the group says, never have I slept with anyone besides Tyler, her current boyfriend, not present at the time. Well, that was a lie, and in my house, you do not disparage the sanctity of never have I ever. The rules are no judgments and no lies, and she broke the latter. So I chimed in. What about Andy, the guy she lost her V card to during a drunken night out, which no one else at the party knew about? She got so mad she just stormed out. And everyone else gave me variations of, you did what had to be done, and I don't feel bad for doing it. Story 8. I got dared to use a zip line that nobody had likely touched in decades. So we climbed up a mountain while wasted in the middle of the night, found that my friend was not bullshitting and that it actually did exist, used our zip on it, and sailed over a 1,500-foot drop. And then the thought occurred to me that I had no way of getting back. And I had not even brought a flashlight with me, and had absolutely no knowledge of the part of the mountain I was on. So I basically stood in place for 7 hours or so. I don't know if that was the worst, but it was definitely the most stupid, especially considering that the whole point of the game was to get with some girls who were no longer in a partying mood after I disappeared into the night. Story 9. I wasn't participating, but there was a weird night when one of my daughters had a bunch of friends over. My wife and I were sitting downstairs while they were up in her room, apparently playing Truth or Dare. Over the course of a couple hours, we experienced some pretty weird stuff. Two of my daughter's friends came running downstairs and started screaming at each other before running off again. My daughter came back down and said, "Mommy, Daddy, I'm pregnant," and then ran back upstairs. Later, we heard a splash outside by the pool, and a minute later, a couple girls come running into the house, wrapped in towels and dripping wet. I had to go tell them to not jump out the window anymore, and that pretty much stopped the shenanigans. Damn, your daughter came down and said that she's pregnant as a dare? I'm not sure how you brush that off so easily. If my sister did that to our parents, she would have got her ass whooped and would never be able to bring friends over again. Story 10. A few months ago, my friends and I decided to throw a party to celebrate the end of the school year. It was a typical high school bash, loud music, dancing, and, of course, a game of Truth or Dare. I've always been a fan of the game and figured nothing too serious would come of it. Little did I know it would be one of the most memorable nights of my life. The game started off innocently enough. Truths about crushes were revealed, and silly dares were carried out. However, as the night progressed, the dares became bolder and the stakes grew higher. It was my turn, and I was feeling confident. I chose Dare, eager to prove my fearlessness to my friends. My friend Sarah grinned mischievously and said, "All right, I dare you to sneak into the school's gym and take a selfie wearing the mascot costume." My heart raced at the thought of sneaking into school after hours, but I didn't want to back down. I agreed, and my friends cheered as we all snuck out of the house and made our way to the school. Once we arrived, I realized how difficult the task was going to be. The school was locked up tight, and we had to find a way in without triggering any alarms. After some searching, we found an unlocked window leading to the gym. With my friends watching and egging me on, I managed to climb through the window and retrieve the mascot costume. As I put it on and took a selfie, my friends were laughing hysterically outside. Just as I finished taking the picture, we heard the sound of a door opening down the hallway. Panic set in as we realized someone was in the school. We quickly climbed back out the window and sprinted away from the school, adrenaline pumping. Sarah: "I'm so sorry. I didn't think anyone would be here this late." I was just grateful we didn't get caught, and we all vowed to be more careful when taking on dares. We returned to the party, and word quickly spread about my sneaky mascot escapade. While some people were impressed, I couldn't help but feel a mix of embarrassment and relief that we narrowly avoided getting into serious trouble. Please leave your story down below in the comments. I would absolutely love to make a video about them in the future. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, peace.